Hello again, Paul Harris here from Kitco and Mining Journal. We're continuing with the afternoon session, and I have great pleasure to call to the stage Tara Christie, President and CEO of Banyan Gold. This last session of the day, we're very much focusing on Yukon in Canada. Tara.
Great. Thank you very much, and thank you for joining me. You know, a year ago when I was standing here, I would have pointed to the slide and told you we had 4 million ounces, and I'm super pleased to be able to come and tell you this year that we're now at 6.2 million ounces, which you can see in that photograph. So pretty rapid growth for our AurMac project. We're located in the Yukon, right near Victoria Gold, and now Hecla's high-grade silver. And looking at this image, there's a few important things that you should notice in that. One is there's a main road right through it, an all-season highway actually, and along that highway there's a major transmission line. It's actually the main line that goes right to the hydroelectric dam that's only 50 kilometers away. It was reconstructed, this power line, in January of 2021, so it's a 138 kilovolt line. It's only energized to 69, and it services 2 mines right beside us, Hecla. So where do you have a project that has an all-weather road right through it, or several of them, a power line that has capacity, even cell phone service, 4 bars on the cell phone, fiber optic cable goes out that road that you see in the foreground out to Victoria Gold. The little gray square in the middle is a substation located right on our property, and that is the location from that low hill where you see the TSX-V BYN down across the valley there. That's our 6.2 million ounces. So very moderate topography for building a mine. There's no rivers, no lakes, no big mountains, and no glaciers, which is fabulous when it comes to mine building, along with that exceptional infrastructure. So, you know, zooming in, here we are looking at Victoria Gold, which is just 25 kilometers as the crow flies away from us. Hecla's right beside us. That was the Alexco's property, which was just purchased by Hecla. And, you know, this district, and you're going to hear from Victoria Gold and Snowline, it is very exciting in this district. We are making brand new discoveries. We made our power line discovery, which is now 3.8 million ounces in 2019. Lots of projects that you hear about in this business have been around for a long time. People drill them, rename them, they come back 20 years later. This is brand new discovery where we now have 6.2 million ounces beside 2 operating mines. Hecla beside us with a mill, and Victoria Gold that you see there with a heap leach mining operation, which reached commercial production in 2020. We have 300 square kilometers here. We've explored roughly 5% of it. We've really been focused over these few years on drilling out this resource that you see here in 3 deposits: the airstrip, the power line, and the Oryx Hill. And since we put out this resource, we've drilled another 25,000 meters. For context, we drilled 50,000 meters to go from 4 million ounces to 6.2, and we drilled another 25 after this resource. So we know this resource has room to grow. It's open in various directions at depth to the west. We've connected power line and Oryx Hill, which you can see there, and you can see the mineralization which popped up there. This is the same style of intrusion-related mineralization with sheeted veins. There you can see the sheeted veins, similar to Snowline, with the key difference between Victoria Gold and us, and I know there's not probably a lot of geologists in the room, but we haven't actually found the intrusion yet. The high grade that Snowline drilled, that's their actual intrusion. Victoria Gold is mining their intrusion. We're in the rocks either above or beside where the gold has leaked out into, so they're surrounding metasedimentary rocks. So still lots of exploration potential for us, both expanding the resource, looking for that intrusion, and on the rest of our land package. So we think we're pretty well positioned in a great jurisdiction. There you can see the actual resource numbers. For a mining company or for a major, you know, there's a real critical threshold of 5 million ounces that you need to get to before you're significant. It used to be 1 million ounces, but in this new market, in order to invest the capital, companies really need to see that level. So getting above that was a really significant threshold for us this year. And to still have exploration potential beyond it. Our team has a really clear track record of delivering value. You know, we add ounces for around $7 per ounce. Our all-in drill cost, $400 Canadian. We are very efficient, and you'll see we spend 85% of the dollars we raise goes into the ground. So our G&A, we keep very close tabs on that. And, you know, that's really benefited us because we're standing here today with just under $8 million in the bank and don't have to finance. This project, that infrastructure can't be underestimated. We already have a power line right to the hydroelectric dam, already on the property, roads. There is, in Canada, with permitting, it's really important, the relationships with First Nations. We have what's called a self-governing First Nation, that's our traditional territory, and that's really important because they already have an existing agreement with the federal and territorial governments, and the best evidence that you can permit is that we have 2 mines right beside us that are permitted that have existing agreements with this First Nation, and they have lots of businesses which support mining, so they have an interest in seeing mining in the district. We're year-round because we have roads. People think of the Yukon and they think, well, you can't operate there in the winter. Well, we do. We've drilled to December 20th. We are well set up, and because we have that infrastructure and roads, it's safe for us to operate. So that's a key advantage, and the mines right beside us operate year-round. And importantly, we're funded for 2024. Here's just a snapshot of that district. If we drew a circle around us today of 50 kilometers, we'd have 18 million ounces in gold equivalent resources. And I think that's going to grow. The exploration, which Victoria Gold is doing, and others around us, our own property, we're continuing to see new discoveries and expansion of resources. So, once that gets to that 20 million number, that's pretty significant. There aren't very many areas where you can see that concentration of gold and silver. Our team, I won't belabor this because this is a short talk, but do come talk to me in room 1 and grab a presentation. We have a very lean and mean team that has all the skill sets. We just added Kai Woloshin, who's got tremendous experience in managing projects. So he's our VP Project Development, as well as permitting projects. So key person as we move forward into the next phases. James has been a big part of our success in terms of the geology and understanding what's going on. We've got Brad Thrall helping us on metallurgy, and I'd love to tell you about his experience. He actually built a heap leach mine in the Yukon, is a metallurgist, and also on the mining side, we have Mark Blythe as one of our board members. Pretty great team, working really hard to make sure that we're adding value for shareholders. We have a great share registry with a very large percentage of institutional shareholders. Victoria Gold at 11.3 and Cisco Development at 4, so a couple corporates which have validated our geology and the company. You'll notice our last financings have all been done without warrants. So I look at the dollars and also at higher prices. So I definitely look at the dollars we have in the bank as being worth more. Maybe they're even a foreign currency. So we're going to make sure that we spend them very, very well in what we do in 2024. We have coverage from both Cormark and Paradigm, and I encourage you to read their research as well. On the ESG front, this is very important for any company working in Canada, and it's something that we do exceptionally well. I already spoke a little bit about the First Nation. One thing is I have long-lasting relationships in the Yukon. I've been working and living in the Yukon for the good part of my career, almost all of it. I've also run a charity in the Yukon long before I became the CEO of Banyan. It's almost been 13 years now, and I actually just got an award for it this last week. Every student, every day, we've been working with First Nations and communities and schools all across the Yukon for 12 years. So, having that credibility is really important and is part of your social license. And of course, on the environment side, that's something that we're doing very well as well. Just another snapshot of the resource. The orange is the outline of the pit. This is a very large resource. We've now found mineralization over 5 kilometers. You can see there's lots of areas where we have room for this to continue to grow. Looking at a cross-section where the purple and the red are the highest grade, you can see there's high grade right near the surface and some good long intercepts. We believe there is a core here where there is some higher grade and which would be important as we develop our mining models. We've done some high-level engineering to kind of look at where you would mine first to feed into the next phases of exploration that we will do. And looking at our sensitivity chart, we came out with a resource of 6.2 million ounces at 0.61. But if we depict a 0.5 cutoff, you'll see across the 3 deposits, there's 4.5 million ounces at 0.95. So as we model this project and look at different cutoffs and how you might mine it, you're looking for that higher grade core where you can potentially get faster payback, and ultimately that goes to your IRR and your NPV. Our drill results, this is a remarkably consistent deposit. We've connected Aurex Hill and Powerline with some great results. The area in southern Powerline, we drilled off to deepen an area where when we made the original discovery, we were only drilling 100 meters deep. And we know that, an economic pit here is likely about 200 meters. And so and that area there specifically was right through one of our high-grade east-west zones that we can see. So went back to capture that. And also we expect it's probably in your phase 1 mining area. So real high-value drilling we did this year. Also tested some of the edges, and we're looking to see where we can expand this deposit. On our Nitra project, which is off to the west, and you can see the inset map there showing it's just about 1 kilometer separated from our AurMac, and it's just south of Victoria Gold. The pink blobs on that are known intrusions. These are intrusion-related deposits, and Victoria Gold just purchased the one that's right in the central that's called Gold Dome there. It's a known gold-bearing intrusion-related deposit. This area out here was the first time we've really had time to get out, collect some soils, rock sampling, following up on alluvial mining out there. All of the yellow circled areas are where there's historic and current placer mining. So it's exciting. There's lots of smoke out there. And this is a district. I think we're going to see new discoveries. So 2023 was a really good year for us. We had a $10 million program, which we executed successfully on budget, achieved our goals, which are listed there. We're looking forward to 2024. We're spending a lot of time analyzing our data, getting our results, making sure that what we do in 2024 is both going to add value for our shareholders, is based on analyzing what we've done and what we know, and is in the context of the market as we see it coming together. Our metallurgy is something we spent a lot of time and focus on this year. Because we're beside Victoria Gold, everyone assumes, you should be a heap leach mine. But as our metallurgist says, Tara, the test work is going to tell you what this is, and the economics are going to tell you what you should actually build. So from that, we did a very robust program. We really wanted to make sure we were representatively sampling across our deposits, particularly Powerline, which we believe is the first deposit which will be mined, doing a broad range of testing. The reason we acquired this project, or I knew about it when I became CEO, is I personally purchased the alluvial assets over it in 2013 from an estate. So gravity, what's the impact of gravity? There's free gold right in the sediments on surface. How does it respond to flotation? What's CIP, CIL? And I think that gives us a broad range. We plan to put out a flow sheet which shows the preferred economic process for, or what we believe the preferred processing technique is, but also what the results of the other options are, because different corporates build different projects, and having optionality, I think, is the best for our shareholders. I'm excited to see the Raven deposit developing right across the valley from us. It'll be exciting to see what that ends up being processed, or how it is processed, because certainly there are some synergies, and I believe that somewhere there'll be some district consolidation at some point, and potentially a district mill somewhere. Permitting, something that we have a huge advantage on, our skill set and my long-term experience, having been on the YESA board and the chair of the Rules Committee. We started our baseline back in 2021 with the databases from both Victoria Gold and Hecla. That's a huge advantage. There are only about 3 projects in North America which could be permitted in 4 to 5 years, and we believe our project would fit in that once you decide on what it is you want to build here. So huge advantage. Yukon's a great advantage for permitting because of that permitting process and the fact that we're in an area with existing infrastructure and disturbance. We're the 5th largest undeveloped resource in North America. With our exploration potential, we think we can get up that curve, and certainly that's getting us notice as being significant. We're trading at about $10 an ounce today. This is a little while ago we put this chart together, but certainly in terms of value, I think that we can both add value and we'll see ourselves re-rate. It's been a very rapid journey. We acquired this property in 2017, and we're already at 6.2 million ounces. We're de-risking it and certainly adding lots of value. And the whole plan was to really strategically position Banyan and our AurMac property. There are not very many projects out here like ours that are permittable in a Tier 1 safe jurisdiction with infrastructure. We got 2 mines beside us, both of which are growing. Others looking at this district as it's growing, and we'll have lots of news flow into 2024 with our results from 2023 and what we're planning to do, because we're funded for 2024 and in a very good position. So thank you to all the shareholders here who've been longtime supporters. I appreciate it. Please come talk to me.
Well, thank you, Tara. Quick question for you. 6.2 million ounces, congratulations. Looks like that's going to grow again with the 25,000 meters of drilling. What's your view on pulling all this together with the metallurgy, the economic studies, etc.? When do you think you'll be in a position to wrap something like that around this?
Sure. Well, our metallurgy is coming out next, and metallurgy is not fast, so we've been trying to get that out as fast as possible, but we want it to be complete, and you have to wait for results. So, we're expecting that by first quarter. I think that will definitely put us in a position. We're not in a rush to do a PEA. I think once people get those results, they can see our deposit. And, similar to when we put out our 6.2 million ounces, this is a very consistent deposit. I think people had already done the math on what our resource was long before we put out the resource. And I think the market, we'd already seen our share price kind of baked in. So we're not in a rush to update the resource. Certainly before we do the PEA, we would do that. We have to do a PEA by December of 2025. But again, we want to do all the technical work in advance. And I think the people that are looking at this jurisdiction, they run the numbers themselves. So the PEA isn't necessarily an essential. And we often see that people do the PEA and their share price goes up and then it goes down afterwards. So wait to see. I'll have more news for you on our plans for 2024 early in the new year.
Well, I look forward to that. Tara Christie, thank you very much.
Thank you.